Hey guys, welcome back to the vlog. I am just sitting here with my STM granite pied female and Scouty boy right down here. Hi, Scout. It's a nice day. There's storms rolling through, but it's a nice day to be outside and just sit on the deck. But I wanted to finally, I've been waiting probably about a week or so. Not a week, a month. I've been waiting about a month to actually talk about this issue and what happened to me. And I literally got scammed out of $750 on Morphmarket. Not a clickbait title. I actually lost $750 and I don't think I'm getting it back. I didn't want to post anything about it sooner because I wanted to give the seller, or scammer I should say, a chance to see if they were actually going to refund the money or not, and they never gave me the money back. So what happened was I found a female that I purchased at this point back in the beginning of May, and I sent the seller $750 through PayPal friends and family. This was like maybe a Wednesday or Thursday. They emailed me on a Saturday saying, hey, you know, unfortunately we just decided to ultrasound the female and she's gravid, so we're actually not going to sell her to you, but we'll refund your money on Monday. We don't usually do business on the weekend, which sounded weird to me anyways. But I just want to let you know that, and we'll refund your money first thing Monday. Monday rolls around and I never got a refund. So by Monday night, at this point, it was probably 10 p.m. Eastern time, I emailed them saying, look, you know, I kind of gave you the 3 days to get me the refund. I don't see it yet. Get it to me immediately, or else I'm going to have to report you to Morphmarket. And she said, I already refunded your money. Don't contact me again. So I was like, oh, I have a feeling this isn't going in a good direction. So I waited Tuesday and I still didn't see the money back in my account. And you know, when somebody issues you a refund on PayPal, you get an email about it immediately, even if you don't get the money right away. I never got that confirmation email. So at that point, I contacted my bank, and they told me that you can file a complaint at any point in time. It doesn't need to be within a certain time frame. So you know, you can do it now or later. So I'll do it later just to see what happens. PayPal would not help me because I paid using friends and family, which is what I guess we'll talk about in a little bit. And I contacted Morphmarket and they opened up an incident report. They contacted her. She said she sent the refund, real quick email. And I said, well, I never received it. I said, and I asked her for proof that she sent a refund, and she hasn't sent that to me either. So Morphmarket also asked her for proof that she sent a refund, and she never replied to them. So we gave them a couple days, and she never replied again. And Morphmarket, I contacted them back and said, you know, what's going to happen next? She said, well, we can't do anything about your money, but her account is suspended, and if she does not respond back and she does not show proof that she offered the refund, she's going to have her account permanently banned from Morphmarket. So needless to say, it's a month later. I don't know if she's physically banned yet, but her store is completely down on Morphmarket. If I go to look at my message thread with her, it doesn't show her company name anymore, and it just shows her username. But when you go to click on her store, it just says like the error 404 or whatever they have on there. So I started talking to I feel like it was Judy maybe at Morphmarket, a little more about what happened. And I asked them, you know, like, how do you guys prevent this person from coming back and doing this under a different business name? And she didn't give me specifics, but she said they have security precautions set up so that people just can't keep opening new businesses under different names. So I don't know how foolproof that is. I don't know how well that works, and I hesitated to do this, but I think I'm going to, just because I don't want anybody else to get scammed by this person. I'm going to post what their store page name was. I'm going to show you what the person's name was. I'm going to black out their phone number because at this point, I don't know if their phone number is real. I don't know if the person's name is even real. Morphmarket would not give me any information other than this is what their store page was. They wouldn't give me, you know, anything, which I guess I understand. They said, you know, if I filed a lawsuit or something, they would give that money to law enforcement or whoever needed that information. So I talked to the people at Morphmarket a little more, and basically they said, don't buy from new sellers. I mean, that was honestly their recommendation, which is hard for me because I was a new seller last year. I had, up in June of 2020, I had never sold a snake before, but people trusted me and they purchased for me and they got their snakes, and everybody's gotten their snakes since then. So at some point somebody has to be a new seller. I think after thinking about this for a whole month, that my plan going forward, if there's a new seller that has a snake that I want to buy, they have to meet several criteria. One is that they have multiple presences, meaning, sure, they have a Morphmarket account, but do they have Instagram? Do they have Facebook? Do they have some other social media platform? And have they been around for longer than a minute? Do they have they been posting stuff, even if it was their own personal animals? So it's not just a person with a Morphmarket page that doesn't have anything else in existence. The second thing is, going forward, I will not pay a new seller using friends and family. Now, if it's an established seller, if it's, you know, Aussie or JKR or somebody else, even not the big name guys, there's still guys that have been around for 10 years, 5 years. I've been around for 2 years, but I have 40 plus sales on there. I consider myself an established seller. I have a YouTube presence, I have an Instagram presence, I have Facebook, even though nobody uses Facebook, and I have 40 plus ratings on Morphmarket. I consider myself established and safe to buy from using PayPal, friends and family. But if you're a new seller, and there's no way for Morphmarket to kind of police this, but if you're buying from a new seller and you see that they have some sort of a social media presence, I would still only pay them using goods and services or using a credit card. Basically everything went wrong for me in this scenario. I paid using my checking account, and I contacted the bank and they wouldn't help me refund the money because it didn't fall under whatever their silly guidelines are for getting the money back, even though I can't imagine it would have been hard for them to just reverse the payment with the, you know, with their banking information. So they couldn't help me. PayPal wouldn't help me because I paid using friends and family. Morphmarket obviously can't do anything, and then of course there's the whole scam. So, you know, I kind of, this was literally the worst case scenario for me in terms of getting my money back and righting the wrong, which sucks. It could have been a lot worse. It was $750, which is it's a lot to me still at this point. I don't have $750 to burn. If I went downstairs right now and put $750 in my fire pit, it'd be a bad day and my wife would be pissed at me. I mean, it taught me a valuable lesson, even though, you know, I've been doing this for almost 3 years, buying anyways and selling for the last year, and I'm experienced at it, and I'm glad that it didn't happen with a more expensive animal, but it still stings, and I don't want anybody else to get ripped off the way I got ripped off. And I just kind of want to make sure that everybody that watches my channel is aware that stuff like this happens, and even happens to people that are experienced doing it. So if you're somebody that hasn't bought a snake yet, or is buying your second snake, or buying your 100th snake, it can happen to you. And unfortunately, it happened to me, but it's not gonna happen to me again. And again, so the ways that I'm gonna kind of protect against that are, one, if it's a new seller, I'm gonna make sure they have a pretty wide presence. They're not just a fly-by-night. They're not just somebody making a real quick Morphmarket page or a real quick Instagram handle with posts that are just dating back, you know, 3 days. And I'm not gonna pay a new seller with friends and family on PayPal, or cash, or Venmo, or Cash App, or whatever. Don't pay them with cash. You need to pay them with a credit card, and you need to pay them with goods and services, something that's going to give you some sort of protection as a buyer. I basically had zero protection as a buyer, paying friends and family and paying with my bank account. If I would have used a credit card, I probably would have had a little more protection, even if I paid with friends and family. But, you know, there's that whole, you know, there's fees. Somebody's getting docked fees, whether it's the buyer or the seller, when you're using goods and services and a credit card. Or, well, if you're using friends and family with a credit card, somebody's getting paid fees. Usually it's the buyer, I think. And if you're paying goods and services, either the buyer or the seller can elect to pay the 3%, you know, credit card fees for the transaction. But then there's that whole conversation. Now, who should pay the 3% fees? If you're buying from a new seller, in all honesty, I almost feel like it should be the seller paying that fee. I guess they're paying their dues, in my opinion. It's 3%. It's not a ton of money. Over the long run, it is. But there's a lot of the big sellers at this point. They probably just accept credit cards, and they're paying those credit card fees for payments. I know in my other company, I have to use Stripe, and they dock, I think, 3% or so from every credit card transaction. And, you know, it stinks, but that's just the way it is. Unless somebody's paying you cash or check, you're going to get docked that 3%. So, man, it sucks. I was really bummed to know that, you know, there's people out there that would do that sort of thing. I could not locate this person anywhere else after this happened. I tried calling the phone number that was on their profile, and it just rang and rang and rang and rang and rang. I didn't want to leave a message or text it just because I kind of didn't want to tell them who my phone number was. I didn't want them to know it was me. Although, now that I'm thinking about it, I may have had my phone number in the email chain from Morphmarket, so they probably knew who it was. I couldn't find them on Facebook. I couldn't find anything else with their company name. So, to be honest, I was pretty much just stupid. It was a stupid decision. I have purchased from so many new sellers in the past year that I kind of just got lazy with my being vigilant about making sure that the company is legit and they're actually going to send me my product. Previously, I had used goods and services to pay some of the new sellers, and because they didn't tell me that I had to pay for them using friends and family, if they made a fuss about it afterwards, I would honestly just tell them, look, you didn't tell me you wanted me to pay friends and family, so I paid goods and services. I said, if it's that big of a deal, I'll just pay you the extra 3% fee. I don't care, but I'm not, you know, gonna make a big deal about it. But since I've been, you know, selling off some of my bigger females, and I had just this extra cash sitting in my my snake checking account, I just started paying everybody using that and didn't even think twice about using goods and services or paying with a credit card. So it sucks. I lost $750, which is never a good thing with anything. But I don't want you guys to lose any money, whether it's $50 or $1,000. It's not a good thing. It doesn't leave a good taste in your mouth either. This is honestly the first time I've been really ripped off by anybody in any way, shape, or form. And I guess whether I get lucky or just I'm extra vigilant with the way I deal with people with business transactions. So it left a bitter taste in my mouth, but also made me really angry. I'm a pretty trustworthy person, and I'm pretty truthful, and I don't like to, I mean, I don't take advantage of people, and the fact that I got taken advantage of, I mean, it ticks me off. And I have a fiery personality too, and I've thought to myself, if there's a way for me to go after this person legally, and I'm still looking into that, to be honest. I haven't really delved into it too much because there's been so much other stuff going on, but I'm trying to see if there's a way, if it makes sense for me to do it, if there's a way to go after this person legally to get that money back that doesn't exceed what the cost of me, the $750 that I lost. I mean, she offered to give me a refund, so it's not even like, to me it's an open and shut case. There's an email chain from it. Morphmarket would attest to it as well. There's really no way this person could win a case if it went to court. My issue at this point is whether or not this even worth me taking this to court. If I lost $750, how much would court fees be? Even if I didn't hire an attorney and just did it myself, how much would that actually cost me to actually go through with all that? So I need to kind of investigate that a little more, but I don't know where it is at this point. I have so much other stuff going on that I haven't really worried about it, even though I'm still pissed off by it. So, you know, it sucks, but if you're dealing with an established seller that has a ton of ratings, that has a big presence on the internet, I think you're safe buying from them using friends and family. I don't think it should be an issue. I don't think I would be worried about it. I know as a new snake buyer, you know, you might be worried, especially if you're making a bigger purchase. But you need to be confident that the person you're buying from has been around, that has a presence, and isn't going anywhere. If it's a new seller, like I said, make sure they have a presence, and make sure that you use a credit card, and or you only pay using goods and services, so you have a couple layers of protection for yourself, so you don't get scammed like I did. So there is a storm rolling in my backyard, and there's some thunder booming up there too, so I'm gonna end the video before there's too much noise out here. So that's it for today. Thank you guys for stopping by. And this girl here, actually, she's a newer addition. She's been on the vlog before, but she's awesome. She's actually been crushed. She was a live feeder before I got her, but she has been crushing frozen thawed every single week, and I am trying her out with my Dreamsicle possible OD male to see how granite, which looks really cool on her, how that interacts with the other male if he turns out to be OD. I'd love to see what this granite and OD together looks like. Plus, I can prove out OD. So that's it for today. You know, learn from my mistakes. Don't make the same mistakes I made, and hopefully you're safe out there in the wild world of snake buying. So I'll see you guys next time.